Hello, Pauline here from With Integrity Coaching, and welcome to this, the fifth in a series of short videos looking at conditions for thriving. Today we're going to be looking at the qualities that you bring, the qualities that you specifically bring to the world, and whether you're conscious of them and whether you're bringing them consciously. And if you are, fantastic. That's definitely going to feel more like thriving than not. So what are they? Have you a sense of the qualities that you particularly bring, that people love having you around for? Things like compassion, strength, hope, playfulness, fun. What do people say? Oh yeah, when you're around, things just feel lighter. It's like just lighter, it's just better, it's just more fun when you're around. Is that what you bring? So needed, so needed. Is it compassion? Like, witnessing somebody's pain in a compassionate way. It's like, you just feel so comforted. Is that what you bring? Do you have a sense of it? Some of the people I've worked with, it's that quality that makes their work effective. So it's like the quality is the active ingredient that makes it effective. So I know a business psychologist who she can design programs and training programs, courses, use psychometrics to understand people's makeup and where they might be best fitted. And yet, with that kind of work, sometimes people are suspicious, they're wary of it, they're uncertain, and so that will skew the results. They won't be accurate results. And she brings compassion, so they feel it, they can trust her. She's got their best interests at heart. She has compassion for their situation. And so they can trust her, they can let go, and they just, they can receive the benefit of the work that she's doing that makes it effective because of that compassion. They can trust her. So that's one way that the quality makes the difference to the work that's being done. I had a woman who helped me at home, helped me in the house, take care of the house, and cleaning. She would do some cleaning as well. And oh my God, she didn't just clean, she loved the place. She wasn't just wiping surfaces, she was caring for things, making them beautiful and cared for and tended to. You went into a room after she'd seen to it and you could feel it. She was love for that place. She was pouring love into her work. And it felt, you could feel it, really. Amazing. And myself, I bring honouring to clients. So I honour the soul that my clients are. It might be buried under pressure, stress, fear. It might not be getting a good showing, it might not be so visible, but I know it's there and know that we're going to give it gentle, kind attention to encourage it to come out and be visible. And no matter how much, if any, not good enough, not worth it, not trained enough, not whatever enough that anybody is carrying, when we start the work with absolute faith that their soul is present and it's beautiful and it lacks nothing, and that when we bring that to bear, it will light up everything that is being done and remove a whole lot of fear. It makes the world of difference. And often the quality that you bring will be the one that you most need yourself, the one that you're most lacking. When I remember many moons ago now, I had a boyfriend whose parents had a different religion from the one that they assumed I had. It wasn't true. I didn't have a religion. I'm highly spiritual, but I don't hook it onto any particular religion. But they assumed that I would have a certain religion. And he said to me, but don't worry, they'll tolerate you. You know, it's sort of written into the religion that we must tolerate people of other faiths. Oh, tolerated? I don't want to be tolerated. I want to be welcomed and wanted and embraced with open arms and welcomed into the body of the kirk. Tolerated. I knew I didn't want to be tolerated, but I thought that the very, very best, the pinnacle of expectation for what would be open to me would be being welcomed and wanted. Honouring. Oh my God, I would be honoured. Wasn't even in my field of thought, expectation, possibility. It's like honouring happens to, I don't know, saints and, you know, not humans, or it just wasn't in my field, certainly wasn't for this human. But oh boy, was that what was actually needed. And just the, oh my goodness, that I'm worth honouring. Wow. So if I can see what it is that I'm bringing and to honour that and then bring it actively into the world, the qualitative change in the work that we do, out of sight, complete change. And because I have such faith that your soul's essence is there and it lacks nothing, a whole different ballgame that we're operating from. So for you, do you have a sense of the qualities that you bring, that you carry? You don't have to get it straight away. It doesn't have to be, I'll sit down and think about it for 20 minutes and then I'll get it and then that'll be it. It can be just have a, you know, sit down and have a think, or let ideas come to you. Or ask people what it is that they get when you're around. How do they feel when you're around? Or look at a list of needs. Needs and qualities can cross over, they can be the same thing. If you just Google needs list or needs inventory, you'll come up with some, but I'll also put a link in the video and on the blog to a needs inventory that I quite like. And just have a read over them and see which resonate with you. Either as like, oh God, yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, that's probably one. And, do I bring that? Do I? Is that really the thing? Don't know. So it might be that it is buried, as I've said, under stress, pressure. But if you resonate with it, something will go, oh. So just, yeah, this is an exploration. Take your time. It doesn't have to be a done by the end of the week job for this. So once you have a sense and you can start to actively and consciously bring it, it feels good. And you can bring it to any endeavour that you undertake, any job that you do, any work, any social situation, anything, any place that you go, you can bring it. However, there are certain conditions in which you will thrive more than in others. And if you can bring the quality into some work that you are suited to. It's a good fit for you. It suits your preferences. Then it will be so much more easeful and joyful. And if you try to bring it in conditions that you're really not suited to, that you're just do not suit your preferences, then you will be wearing yourself out very, very quickly. And so this is the second part of this particular video, this week's look, is to look at what the conditions are, what your preferences are, and see how close you can get to those. Now, preferences, I'm first of all talking about introversion and extroversion being what you're energized by. Years ago, when I was a young manager, I worked in a shop and spent all day with people, with customers and with staff, and moving about the whole day, and it wasn't a sitting down job at all. And oh boy, I didn't understand at the time that that really didn't suit my preferences. And so I needed to be quiet and still for quite a while afterwards before I was fit for mixing with people again. But I didn't know what was going on. I just sensed that I needed that to recover from the day. So I thought I was just hadn't got as much energy as other people and I needed to rest. So after the day had ended, I would walk home by myself. So that was quite good. That was quiet. So that's all the stimulation of people wanting to talk to me, wanting decisions from me, wanting my help. That was gone when I was walking home. But I was still in motion, and so I would get back to the house, and I needed to just lie on my bed, still, not speaking, no demands on me, for maybe half an hour. And then I'd start to come back to myself and go, there we go, I feel better now. And then I was fit for speaking to my flatmates and going back out and mixing again. I didn't know that that was what was going on. I just sort of naturally did that for myself. So you can work in places that don't suit your preferences, but knowing that you can build in recovery time. But anyway, an idea to work out what your preferences are and see how close you can get, because that will absolutely help your thriving and help you to bring the qualities that you bring in a way that's even more easeful and joyful. So there's a questionnaire, Myers-Briggs questionnaire, that is a facilitated process that people are trained and licensed to put you through. But there's a free version. It's not the same, but it's come up with some decent results that you can look to find what are my preferences, and you can find that at Human Metrics site. I'll put a link to that on the blog as well. So this amazing combination of being aware of the qualities that you bring, and that being an active ingredient in what you do, your effectiveness, and how good you feel with what you're doing in the world, how you're being in the world. And then doing that, bringing that in circumstances or work that suits your preferences or is as close to your preferences as you can make it. And building in recovery time if needed, if it's out of your preference, if it's not what you're suited to. And oh my goodness, the double whammy of that getting you closer to thriving, much, much closer to thriving. Just feel great. Okay, so that's it for this time. Qualities you bring, being an active ingredient, and your preferences, and how close can you get your working conditions or your living conditions to those preferences. Love to hear how you get on. Next time, the sixth and final in the series, we'll be looking at practices that you can put in place to continue paying attention to where you are on the continuum between surviving and thriving, and what you can do to continue to pay attention to that so that it doesn't slip, or if it slips, it doesn't slip too far, and you can course correct and bring things into place to make it better, more enjoyable. Well, that's what I think life could be for. Enjoy it, bring joy. Okay, so I will see you next time. I am Pauline from With Integrity Coaching at www.withintegrity.co.uk. Thank you. Bye for now.